He's a 4-4 guy.
Something else that didn't work, the 2-point conversion try.
Yeah.
Oh, hotly debated topic here Monday.
Oh, boy.
Where do you land, Andrew Callahan? Should they have gone
slipping
for two?
is bad? Oh, yes. Yeah.
They should have gone for two.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Why?
That's two insiders side with the
But
team.
everyone else sides with Hardy and I. That's fine.
Yeah, the jabronis.
Including multiple insiders. But go ahead.
Not one.
So the point is to win the game, right? And in order to win the game, you have to score again. Obviously, get a 2-point conversion. If you miss it early, you at least give yourself more time on the back end after to get the ball back with 2 possessions. If you just kick the extra point and then go down and score a touchdown and miss it at the end, you lose. There's no chance for you to get the ball back, theoretically, with seconds left. I would rather have more time and more information up front than rather kick the can down the road and cross my fingers that we get it later on.
Okay, I would rather have more points, especially in a game, because everything you just said is true in a vacuum. But this isn't a vacuum. This is a game where the Patriots had not scored since their second drive. And to think that you are going to get the ball back a couple of times and score a couple times.
Well, the plan isn't to. It's to make it in the first place. But I'm saying your plan B is much better if you have 4 minutes left than if you have 16 seconds.
Okay. In terms of the amount of time you have left on the clock and the probability that you're even going to get into field goal range, much less score another touchdown, is slim. So take the 1 point where you can get it, make it a 1-score game. Make it a 1-score game that you know. And the unknown of whether or not you're going to get in on the 2-point conversion is about a 50-50 chance anyway. So don't play those percentages. Take your point, almost certainly take your point, and certainly make it a 1-score game. It takes a lot of the variables out, and now all you have to do is get a stop and score another touchdown, and then you worry about converting on the 2 points. Instead,
yeah, but if you miss at the end, then you're done. If you missed here, you still had 4
you're
minutes.
Done.
You
are done. Let me ask you another way.
You have to get the 2-point conversion either way.
You missed early and you were done.
Let me ask it another way. Had they not gone for it on 4th down, the Jaguars, and turned the ball over on downs, and they had just kicked the field goal, do you think the game is over?
Yeah.
Oh, what? The game is over because it's a 3-score game?
Yeah, with that amount of time.
If you miss the 2-point conversion, it's a 3-score game and the game is over.
No, it's a 2-score game. If you miss, because they were down 9 with about 4.5 minutes left. I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, not a 3-score game.
But you're still giving points away that you can ill afford to give away. Just like the Jaguars shouldn't have given away any points at that point by turning the ball over on downs. So instead of taking that gift and capitalizing on it and taking 7, that's a 10-point swing. Instead of doing that, you're like, nah, we don't need all 7 points. We're good. We're going to see how this plays out. I'd rather have the information available to me and knowing what we need and what we're going to have to do. It's nonsense. That's not the way this team is built. It's not the way they were playing in that game. More importantly, you got to have some sense of the way the game is going. And the way that game was going, they were not going to get down there and score 2 more times.
Look, when you're down 9 points with only a few minutes left, it doesn't matter how you're built. You have to throw and you have to make a stop and go get another score. So what you're saying is either, okay, do I want to go for this now? And in case it doesn't work out, give myself a little bit more margin for error. Or do I just want to wait and feel good and then go to the sideline being like, hey, fellas, we're only down 8, but we still have to do this. And then if we miss in the back end, then we're done. Because there's a little bit more chance to get that 2-point conversion or get the other touchdown if you do it early. Even if you're down 9, that's enough for a 3-and-out, a score, and then another 3-and-out, or if you want to go onside kick.
Andrew.
But if you miss it at the end, it's over. That's what I'm saying. I'd rather have more time and more margin for error.
If this was a normal team with a normal offense and a normal defense, you can make those arguments, but you're sitting there, there's 7 minutes left, and you have to make this decision. Did you think the Patriots are going to get the ball twice in the final 7 minutes?
It doesn't matter what I think. What they have to do is score twice, get in the end zone twice, and get a 2-point conversion. Okay? Regardless of what anything looks like. That's the goal. The way they're going to do that is have to throw the ball. So I would rather do what I need to as soon as possible. Guys, did you do your chores last second? Did you hand in your homework last second? Because that's exactly what this would be doing if you're the Patriots.
That's absolutely
that explains everything that's going on.
You weren't that goody two-shoes that passed things in.
No, I handed them in late. But I learned my lesson.
Do you believe in momentum at all?
No.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
all right, then we can't have this
then we can't have
conversation.
this
I'm
conversation because you're looking at it
No.
completely analytically.
I think
With like no sense of the game, which I don't believe. I don't believe that about you. I think you still watch and enjoy the game of football and believe that momentum is a thing.
I think momentum is something that we all believe in. What I would define momentum as is emotional response to evolving win probability. But if you're a football team that believes, hey, in the end, we're going to win this, that changing win probability doesn't affect me emotionally. If I'm mentally tough enough to say, okay, yeah, that stunk that they scored, great, but I'm going to stay even keel, or when we score a touchdown, I'm not going to celebrate like we won the game because we need to keep playing, and I don't ride that emotional roller coaster, I don't feel the effect of that momentum.
Andrew, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. These two guys are just going to keep fighting you, even though you're the expert.
No, he's wrong, and you're wrong.
Well, John,
That's how I see it. You're definitely wrong.
You know what? John's also this big anti-vax guy and everything. He doesn't believe anything.
Did you hand your homework in at the last minute?
Hey, we're in the same club. Like I said,
Andrew,
I just learned my lesson.
Phil, and I
Does it
just
sound like
stand on a mountain of intelligence.
You have to do
knowledge.
it at some point.
Yes,
I'd rather do it.
I agree.
early.
If you need the 2-point conversion, you need the 2-point conversion. Go for 2.
Yeah,
and it's not. I don't think they just did it on a whim either. I mean, it's got to have been someone saying this is probability and everything else. I mean, they all can't be coaching the lines. Ben, go ahead.
Hey, boys, let's go. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, let's go, everyone. Let's go.
So my question is that, we got 2 minutes left to go in the game. You're down 9 points. You're on your own 10-yard line. It's 4th and 23. Why are you forcing that, having Drake May throw a 40-yard pass into 5 defenders? You should have just punted and, tuck your tail between your legs and go home at that point. I feel like they forced it to have Drake May have some reps in garbage time, and frankly, it gave him another 60 passing yards. So I just don't see the point in pushing that. You're on your own 10, and your defense sucks anyways at that point. So why even bother?
Because you're playing football. I think punting there would have been soft. We talk about soft this week in the players in the locker room. Like, I get that your win probability, to go back to that, is 0.01%. But you got to chase that so long as you're on the field. That's what it is. I mean, I get the concern of why is Drake May in these kind of games. 19 being down 9 is very different than 19.
Jim Louth, I'm sick of the point is to win the game argument. Doesn't that mean they wouldn't have kicked the extra point the second time either? Go for 2 again to try and win the game? No chance they would have done that.
Well, Jim is so passionate about this. It's actually pretty funny.
And he also says, Hardy, you were right, 3-score game. They already scored the first touchdown and would have had to score 2 more times.
All right, Cooper, go ahead.
Hey, Andrew, I normally agree with a lot of the stuff you say, but this is like the stupidest conversation I've ever heard. If they miss the 2-point conversion early, then the game's over. Why is there all of a sudden more time? They still are going to have to score twice. You're like, oh, well, I'd rather have more time for them to score again. There's not going to be, more time added if they, miss that 2-point conversion early. It's stupid. It makes no sense. You take the point, and then now you have, a little bit of energy. This game's still close. It's a 1-score game. When you miss, now the game's over, even if you have more time. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Anyways,
exactly right. See? Exactly right.
I'm sorry, I guess I missed it when the game's over with 4 minutes left.
Well, for this team, it is. For this team, the way they are unable to stop other teams, you were going to get the ball once.
The argument is I want to feel good now. I want energy now from an extra point.
Which gives teams, as historically,
you want
a huge amount of energy. Yes.
You want to keep the game within reach.
You want a point, and you want it to remain a 1-score game because time is of the essence.
But if we're being honest, it's really not a 1-score game. You have to get into the end zone twice when you include that 2-point conversion. And this is not to make a semantics argument.
One
it's to
drive
say, I have to make a 2-point conversion in order to stay in this game. If I miss and there's 16 seconds left, it's game over. The win probability might only be up 1 or 2%. That matters to me. If you want to go to your argument, the way the team is built, I need every edge that I can get. Having a better plan B is some of that edge. You do it early.
Listen, it doesn't have to stop here. You kids have at it.
If you like that clip, and how could you not? Check out more videos from Toucher and Hardy here. Point slightly up and to the left. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. Point slightly down and to the left. And for the latest from the Sports Hub, download at 985thesportshub.com.